The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
Very fortunate to be joined by the GHC Junior Heavyweight Champion, Daga. Thank you very much for coming on. I really do appreciate it, man.
No, thank you, man. It's good to finally, be here and, start this combo that we're going to have and, be able to have the opportunity to talk to, more people about me and my career, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like we mentioned before you went on, you're a very busy person floating from Mexico to Japan. It's non-stop for you. How would you say the schedule is for you?
I mean, I'm very, used to, travel a lot because I started my career, very early, and I had the opportunity to get signed by AAA when I was very young. So we have, a pretty busy schedule there. But it was mostly in Mexico. Well, it was actually just in Mexico, but I'm used to it. And last year when I came to NOAH, it was for small tours only. It was maybe 1 month here, 1 month off, 1 month here, 1 month off. I was just going back and forth between Japan and America. But yeah, this year I was able to go to America, Mexico, and come back to Japan. Now I'm going to stay here for a while. I'm staying here for a while.
Yeah, I'm going to say you're mostly notable, like you mentioned, with AAA. You're most notable for AAA, but then you've also been Pro Wrestling NOAH. You've spent time in TNA, MLW. So one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pop up the companies one by one, and then you tell me if you either a story or your opinions of the company or what you just like a little sentence what comes to mind. If that works.
Okay.
So we'll start off with MLW.
MLW was it was really cool to be there. I was being treated pretty well. I get a really good spot there. Since I debuted, I went in a feud with Loki, which at that moment was the heavyweight champion of the company. So we started having the opportunity and stuff. But let me tell you this right now, because you're gonna bring up all those companies, and it has always been something that is out of my hands, then got me in a weird position with every single company. With MLW, I was having really good spot there. I got to work with Loki. Then they brought Minoru Tanaka, so I faced him in Mania weekend back in New York. I think it was 2019, and everything was super good, going super good. But when I was working with MLW, I was working through a person. So this person will get my dates and everything. And unfortunately, MLW they put out an article saying that I was getting fired, but I was never signed with them, first of all. And then we got confused with the dates actually, because I asked for a day off the company, and then this person never told the company. Then I was asking for that day off. So I asked the person again, oh, okay, we're cool with this. And he said yes, it's cool. You're good to go. So I took that off for personal, a personal situation, right? A friend of mine, I was doing something and I went there, and all of a sudden I talked to the company and they were oh, I think we should work after, or right now, we don't have the same plans and whatever, and things went like that. But I have a very good time there, you know. Everyone was super cool, from Loki. It was Salina de la Renta was there, Conan was there, Kurt Bauer was super good to me. So I enjoy it.
Yeah, you've also spent quite a few years in TNA, which at the time was Impact Wrestling, but now is TNA. How was that for you?
It was cool. I think I have I like TNA a little more than other companies, just because I have the opportunity to learn more about American wrestling and psychology and all those things. And in Lucha Libre, we don't have those, you know. We are just used to work in a fast pace and just doing moves, right? And or spots. So being there was to me, it was like a big opportunity to learn a lot from a lot of people. I remember Gail Kim was teaching me and giving me advice a lot. Tommy Dreamer was doing the same. When we used to go to Canada to wrestle, sometimes Lance Storm will be there backstage and he'll give me like advice too. So because the difference I think in between me and another luchadors, uh, and I say like most of the luchadors, because it's some luchadors too, then they're working in America now in big companies, and like they kind of adapt themselves to the style already. But something that I wanted to do since I started was being a luchador, but be able to understand other styles. I don't like just to like, because we can see it like on Twitter, we can see it like on media, like any luchador that has like a flashy spot or good dive or whatever goes viral, right? And like everyone is like, oh, that's so cool and whatever. But I don't want to be that wrestler, because I consider myself
Yeah.
a wrestler, not a luchador. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to
Hmm.
travel the world and have like the tag that I'm Mexican and I have to be a high flyer just because of the fact of me being a luchador. You know what I'm saying? So when
Hmm.
I get to TNA, I have the opportunity to talk to Gail Kim, and I ask her like if she could have helped me to understand more the psychology and the TV work than the American style is like based on. So she helps me a lot. Chris Sabin was there as an agent too. Jimmy Jacobs. It was a lot of people. Like I think I learned so much from them in my time there. Scott Damore was like always super nice to me. Unfortunately, when I was in TNA and when I was about to get a push, it was when COVID happened. So me being Mexican, I wasn't able to cross the border because the situation was like very tight on it. Then even
Yeah.
though if you have a work visa, it was a few months. Then you was not able to like go and work. So I think like that like was like a big factor of me like asking for my release from Impact, because at that point I think like the world didn't know like what is going to happen now. Whereas like, are we going to be able to travel? Are we going to be able to work? Are we going to? So it was just like COVID, I think, and me being in Mexico, I think like the best thing for like both like parts, especially because my contract was for a year only, and it was like 4 or 3 months left. So I asked for my
Yeah.
release because I actually didn't know uh, what the future had for me. It's like if I was just staying in Mexico and wrestle just for AAA, or if I was uh, if there was like a chance to like go back to the States. It was just too much going on. But like I enjoy my time in TNA just because uh, have the opportunity to learn from Gail and Tommy and all these people that I mentioned, and I think like they have like amazing minds and like for like the business of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
appreciate my time there like a lot.
And TNA at the moment are killing it. I would say.
They're doing good. I actually uh, I have a couple combos with one of my friends that still work there like on the office, and I was like having like there are like some contact like a couple months ago, but they're doing great. It's just it's getting better, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And you mentioned AAA. You spent a notable of like seven. I want to say like 6, 7, 8 years there. Is that
It was
correct?
8.
8.
Uh, no, it was 7. You're right, 7. Yeah, I mean that that was very good to me because I told you before I had the opportunity to be signed with AAA like very early in my career, so I was super young when I get there, uh, and I think at the time I'm talking about like 14 years ago when we were like in 2010. I feel at that point the wrestling business wasn't like what it is today. It wasn't like the opportunity to travel anywhere in the world yet. It was so hard for Mexican wrestlers like me to get a visa to go somewhere. I think the UK scene wasn't that big yet. Japan
Mm.
was very like very tight and who's coming in and who's going out. You know what I'm saying? So it was like very hard to like go to other places, and lucha libre being a very like big part of my culture, because for us it's like culture, you know, like I don't know how it's in the UK, but I always make this compare like I compare like lucha libre is our baseball. we'll say, because in
Yeah.
America you have football, baseball, and all these sports before everything. And in Mexico, we just have three. Then it's like soccer, boxing, and lucha libre. So
Yeah.
it's very big in our culture. And starting my career and being signed for a while, it was very amazing because I have the opportunity to start working and paying my bills from my dream, and also I start to like live a life that probably like most of new guys wanted to live, either way,
Yeah.
like in either place in the country. So it was amazing. I feel it helps me to put my name out because I was like just well known in the indies by then, and AAA was on national TV every weekend. So I think it gave me that push uh, and make myself like a well-known luchador in Mexico, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Who was your favorite luchador growing up? Who did you like to watch? Who was your inspiration to be a professional wrestler?
Let me tell you this, right? Like this is very hard because if you ask me for my top five like luchadors, there's just one Mexican, right? But
Mm-hmm.
so I remember I growing up like my dad took me to a AAA show when I was a kid, but of course I used to watch Rey Mysterio when he was in AAA. I used to watch Psychosis. I love Psychosis when he was wearing the mask and stuff and working WCW, ECW, and all these things. But I feel my biggest inspiration, and I think that's part of my style because I can do the high flying and the flippy stuff and those things, but lucha libre is not just that. Lucha libre is so many things. It's not necessarily like being like jumping from rope to rope. It's a lot of like behind, and I think one of the high hitters in lucha libre is Negro Casas, which he has
Mm.
like a huge season in New Japan. He was traveling to America. He's a legend in Mexico right now, and he was that one luchador that I like to watch growing up, and I like to watch like when I was a trainee only.
Yeah. A big shout out to, you mentioned 2010. I don't know what year this is, but this is a young Daga.
Oh, that was probably I was maybe 24 there, 23.
Yeah. So my age.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
young.
Yeah. And do you know what, right? On my recent interview with your girlfriend Xena, who is killing it in Stardom right now, we was on about your age, right? And I was looking up the Wikipedia and to get a bit of facts, to do some research and stuff like that. And she told me to guess your age, and I said 28, 29. And then she went, "No, you're 35." And I was like, "No, because you don't look
She's joking.
35."
She's joking. You're right. She was lying. You're right.
She said she had something planned
Yeah.
for your
And
birthday. Did you have a good birthday?
no, it was amazing. I had like a really good time. She got me like a couple surprises, and they were like really really good. I don't know if he told you, but we're big foodies, so I enjoyed that dinner we have. It was like super good.
It was on a boat, wasn't it?
Yes, it
Yeah,
was. It was a very cool experience.
yeah. And then you mentioned about the food. You're both food eaters, and you've got a YouTube channel.
Yeah, we haven't like keep up with it, but because our schedules are like mixed right now. I'm gone, and then I come back, and then she's gone, and all those things. But like, yeah. We are planning to get more food like in our channel, but also like we're trying to like, put more like matches and stuff because being in Japan, sometimes it's hard for like people maybe in Australia or Mexico or America to watch what we're doing here. You know what I'm saying? Like because
Yeah,
no one started like they're not like as big as other companies, and that's why we're trying to add like some stuff because we both get messages of like how can I see what you're doing and stuff like that. So we're trying to mix it.
yeah. And I mean, I've subscribed to it, and I've watched every video. I like the KFC one where you've got Doctor. Is it Dr. Wagner? Did I say his
Oh,
name
we
right?
went to Korean
Is it?
barbecue with Dr. Wagner.
That's it. That's it. I don't know why I said KFC, but
We
but
have
yeah,
one too of KFC.
yeah. I mean, the videos are good. I like it, and I like it how you're doing the food ones and then you're mixing it up with the wrestling ones. It's different, and I like it.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
So Xena also told me about how you are a romantic person, staying up on video call all night when the time difference conflicts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You just
I mean, I'm just a gentleman, man.
That's good.
The
That's
thing
good,
was
man.
that the thing is like we live in our time was like opposite like all the time when I was still living in America,
Yeah.
and I have not too much to do by then because you know as a wrestler you usually work the weekends and stuff. So she was sometimes like over there like doing stuff and all those things. So I would just like jump on her and I like to talk to her and spend time with her. So that was at the moment like the only way we can like have that contact. So we'll stay for like hours and hours and hours talking, and I will make sure that she goes back home
Yeah,
safe.
she said that. She said that. And like you mentioned, you're a gentleman. There's not many out in the world, is there? Not these days. There's not many like romantic people or gentlemen that would do stuff like that.
The thing is, they need to be raised like we used to. I'm like that because I used to get smacked by my grandma with the shoe.
Yeah. Wow.
You know,
It's one of them. Innit?
when I was like a little kid, if I would like if I was playing with my cousins, like man, woman, whatever, if somebody will do something wrong, we will get smacked with the shoe. So it will be like, no, 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 that's not right. So we better
Yeah.
like stay away from it.
Yeah, I see what you mean, man. And she's killing it over in Stardom.
She's doing it. She's a genius.
Yeah, she mentioned. Well, I mean, she's just killing it.
Yes, yes, yes. Like she's doing pretty good. She's having like really good matches. You know,
Yeah, the one that she recent had with what's her name? Is it
Micah.
Mina? Yeah, Micah. I get mixed up. Micah. That was good. I felt like she should have won that.
I mean, it was like a badass match. I really enjoy it. I think she got into what like Japanese people like. Then it's like the high hitting stuff and those things. She still like kind of keep her own style. So I think that's where
Mm,
like make a good mix in that match. You know what I'm saying? Because Mike is basically like a high hitter, power wrestler, Japanese style, 100%.
yeah,
And then Cena start to mix it up and but also start to like get into the hard hitting stuff. So I think that was what it made the match interesting. You know?
yeah. And I see what you're meaning with that. Like you mentioned, the different styles. I think when it comes to different styles of professional wrestling, and then you've got like, say for example, Mina who's hard hitting, and then Zena's got her own style. It connects. I saw that was it Mina's chest after. If that looked like it hurt.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
And Xena also said that she learned a lot from you because, like, what's the word that she used? It's you've got a mind. It's like you're like a, what's the word? Because you've been so many places and your mind for the business is like no other. Like you've had time in pro wrestling, Noah, MLW, TNA. Your mind is just like she said. It's like a catalog. She just picks from your brain, and she said she's learned a lot from you.
Yeah. As I tell you, that is what always that was always my goal to learn so many different styles because going back to what I said, I feel like I don't know, man. Like I cannot use the word like a word to just don't like get messy into it. But I feel like sometimes when you're like a Mexican wrestler and you go to the UK or to America or Canada, everyone expects for you to just do lucha, and
Yeah,
that really pissed me off because
yeah,
I don't like it. Because even though I can do it, like you can. Uh, like training with her, right? Like in training with everyone, I can do moonsaults, I can do corkscrews, I can do all these things like flying scissors and all these things. But like I just don't like overuse it because I don't want to be mixed with this concept of being just a luchador, a high flyer. So when I went to Dragon Gate, because I was in Dragon Gate here first in Japan, before I get to Noah, it was kind of easy because Dragon Gate style is fast. You don't have to use a tag. You don't have to use like these like many rules. So I tried to learn that. Then, as I told you, I went to America and I asked so many people to help me. Because I don't mind, like I don't mind to go and ask somebody. I'm that like person. Then if I'm in a show and I have the time to watch the first match, the second match, the third match, even I'll be watching because you can see so many like stuff and you can learn from like anybody. Doesn't matter if he's like a rookie or like somebody that is just like a couple months in the business or somebody that has like 25 years in the business. You can always learn. So I'm always trying to like do that, and that's why like I went to America and I learned. I went to ask and I was like, hey, can you help me with this? Can you teach me this? Can you do those things? In the UK, I didn't have like a whole opportunity to be there, but when Chris Ridgway was here with Noah, I'll like he will be like working in the ring, and I will just go and look at it. It's people like Timothy Thatcher and Hideki Suzuki. Then they're like catch wrestlers. I'll be there like watching. From Yoshinari Ogawa, which is a legend in Japan. He wrestled for all Japan. He wrestled for all these companies and against so many foreigners from other times. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the 80s, the 90s. So I'm always trying to learn. So when I learn and when I like I'm able to absorb all that knowledge, I like to like share it with people, and not just with her. Like when I was in Mexico, I used to run classes, or in America, I used to do it through. In Japan, sometimes here I'm able to lead a class or two with the Noah people. So I just like to like share what I know and learn what I don't know.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't think there's many people in the business that like to do that. From what I've seen, people do learn from each other and stuff like that. But like you mentioned, you like to just give the knowledge back from what you've learned, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it's because like you never know who can make it. I think it's a lot of people that has egos and or like they just like out of it and they just don't want to share what they like no, I mean, it doesn't matter, like you might run a class or you might like charge like a little fee for it or whatever, but if you have the opportunity to see somebody with like the capacity or like the skills to go somewhere, you should do it. Um, and I think when somebody is able to make something big, I think that's where like some of us like have a little bit of where like we know we help in certain way, like a part of us is there, you know what I'm saying? and
Yeah,
and with Cena is like that. She's like a hard worker and she wants to learn more stuff, because as I said, like we all have a background. We'll have like a style where like we start with, like I start with lucha. At that point I don't know like so many stuff about like how to work like the cameras or how to work an entrance or all those things that you learn in America. And she has this background of training in Australia, but now she sometimes is like, "Hey, why you don't teach me a little bit of lucha and like or like a little bit of this?" And I go and I just show her, because I know like she has the quality, like the quality and like the capacity and the skills to do big things that she did with this match that you and I were watching, we enjoy. So that's good, you know what I'm saying? And she's my girlfriend, but it has been like so many people that I have the opportunity to like help them. Now they're doing really good. Then I just love to share my knowledge.
and you know what? I respect that, man. Respect
Thank
that.
you. I appreciate it.
We kind of diverted from the last company, but this one's where you all have been pretty much for the last year and a half performing. I would say, mostly Pro Wrestling Noah, which I
Yeah.
will say myself, you are really killing it. Really killing it.
Yeah. It's it's just like a personal. I feel like I owe myself too much just because uh, I started with so many wrestlers and now they're like in. in really good places, and then for one reason or another reason, I never get like a big shot, and it wasn't for me or for my work, but just for like situations. And there were like, and then I was related to in certain way, then it took those opportunities away from me. But
Yeah.
I remember I remember I get an email from Noah in 2021, and they want me to come here, but I couldn't because I was going through an immigration process in America. I was becoming a resident, so you cannot leave the country, uh, and I wasn't able to do it. And during that time, you can also know work and stuff. And I was like, this is a thing that no many people know. I just mentioned it like in a couple of interviews. I have a contract signed with AEW for a year, and I wasn't even able to work with them because of the immigration process and I was going through. So,
Well,
so that happened, and then the contract like expires. Then Noah messaged me, and it was the same situation. I cannot leave the country yet, I cannot work. Finally, at the end of 2022, I got everything clear. I messaged I talked to AW for a little bit to work something out. I have an appearance like last year. I went to ROH and I wrestled in ROH against QT Marshall. um,
yeah,
but we couldn't like get more deep into conversations. So I was already coming to Noah by then, but like going back to Noah, they messaged me and I messaged them back after like I don't know, at that point I wasn't like, I didn't know like what is going to happen with my career, you know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't able to work for like almost 2 years. AAA, I think like I always have like a door open with AAA because of the time that we work together and stuff. But
yeah,
I was like, AAA is not a challenge anymore for me because I was a cruiserweight champion there. I was a Latin American champion there, and I won more. And the conversations with AEW wasn't like going like nowhere. So I messaged Noah back, and Noah said like, okay, get your passport ready, get everything ready. You're coming to Japan. So I came here. Uh, the good, I think the good thing and the advantage for me was then like a lot of people knows me from Dragon Gate because I spent like
yeah,
like a big season with them. So when I first I make my first appearance with Noah, I can hear like people like saying my name. So I think that was good for the company too. And every time I go to the ring, I try to perform like 110% or 200. It depends, you know. Like I don't go under 100 when I'm in the ring. So
all in.
they like it. And as I said, like the first year was like going back and forth because I was travel. I was 1 month here and 1 month in America when I was living in America. So then finally they were like, "How long can you stay?" And I was like, you know what, man? Like I'm in my prime, physically and mentally. I'm in my prime. So I was like, I cannot waste more time. You know what I'm saying? Like I got to do something. So I was like, "How long do you guys want me for?" And they were like, we want you for a whole year. And I said, okay, get it. We signed the contract, and that's why I'm here like now, like full time. We will stay full time because I traveled to Mexico and America to just do my work paper over there. But I
Yeah,
came back like just in a month. So yeah, like Noah is a big chance. And funny enough, when I was uh, when I was a trainee, it was when I did when I find out about Mitsuharu Misawa, and I used to watch Noah like for hours, per hours. I used to watch it when Noah used to have the green canvas because now it's a white canvas, but it was well known for the green canvas. I used to watch many videos of now Michi Marufuji versus Kenta 1 hour matches, Sigura matches. Uh, Misawa, Ogawa, all these people, Ricky Marvin, Kotaro Suzuki, all these people that was there by in the company in the early 2000s. I used to
yeah,
watch them all. So it was always a goal for me to work in Japan. And I was able to work with Dragon Gate, and then working with Noah is just amazing for me. And that's why I feel really comfortable here because it's also one of my dreams. So that's why I'm trying to do my best while I'm here, you know?
yeah. And I mean, I've got a few facts for you now. So you are currently the GHC Junior Heavyweight Champion at
Yes.
239 days. you've had 7 defenses, which you have. If you have 3 more defenses and successfully retain, you will be tying this man, Tajiri Ishimore, of the most defenses of the junior heavyweight champion.
Yeah, that's the goal. I already become, if I'm not wrong, and I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong, I'm already like the foreigner with the longest reign in that
Yeah.
championship, because I think nobody went over like 200 days. So
You're in
now I
the.
have
Sorry.
now I have a now I have that record already. But yeah, I wanna like break a record of like the 10 defenses, because I think if I do that, uh it won't be anything else that I can do with that belt. So for me, I always have the dream since I was a kid, since I decided to become a wrestler, to be a heavyweight champion. And I know that is like no like a crazy dream, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I want to like leave that mark on the GHC heavyweight junior uh, championship, and then why not jump into the heavyweights and try to get that belt? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be a good one. And I've
So
also checked
that's
that you. Yeah, I mean that'd be amazing. Daga's a heavyweight champion. I also checked that you have had 6 months into the 2024. You have had probably 47 matches so far. I could be wrong. I could be right. And your most year as fighting as a wrestler was 2018 with 81 matches. So this year you are on 47 so far. Correct me if I'm wrong. But we've got 6 months left. Do you reckon you could break that?
break the record of 10.
Yeah.
Man, like I'm having like I think I'm having like a title match every month, and in March I have 2 in between 2 weeks against Tadasuke and Yohei. So as I for sure gonna break it. I just want to like I just want 2 more challenges to come, and if he's not like a challenger from Noah, uh, they should send more people from other places. Whoever wants to step in the ring with me, I'll be glad to like get over them and continue with my strike. You know.
Yeah. I've just got a quick question for you. We're mentioning Pro Wrestling Noah. They have a little tour in September in the UK. Will you be a part of that?
No, I'm not going to be. I wasn't. I don't know. Like I feel like I wasn't like invited.
All right. So
I
we're
mean,
not having
I don't know how.
one of the main champions.
Like I don't know why, man. I worked with Progress back in 2019. I worked with
Yeah.
Progress. I was there for the Super Strong Style tournament
Yeah.
of that year in 2019. But since then, I haven't stepped on the UK, and I wanted to. To be honest, I wanted to wrestle in Europe, not just the UK. It's so many companies, and I want to wrestle. Like, it's there are like so many companies in the UK, and it's like a couple other companies either in France, Germany, Spain, or like I would love to have a European tour. I think it'll be amazing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, as you said, I don't know how the companies work, who's gonna be there, but I know like some of the
Marufuji is.
Noah people, Marufuji is there, Hayata is there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jack Morris is there, but he's from Scotland, so I think he's gonna be like close home.
He's coming over the
Um,
weekend.
yeah, I think Joe, Alpha Wolf, and Dragon Bane will be there, but I
Yeah.
don't know how do they work. I mean, I was expecting to go. To be honest, I was like, yeah, they're gonna send me there. I'm gonna have a cool match. They
Is
they
it
might
still
let
time?
me have a title defense over there.
Is it still time?
I mean, it's still I don't know if Progress and Noah can work it out, but I'm ready.
When it needs to happen. Daga in the UK. And then you mentioned obviously about a European tour, which I'm pretty sure not just the UK fans, but I can speak for the whole of Europe would love to see you in action.
I would love to go there. And as I said, like I remember this is what I always like happen, you know, and it happens to me in progress. As I said, like because I'm Mexican, if I don't wear a mask, I feel like people like don't actually get into me like right away.
Yeah.
But I remember going to the Super Strong Style tournament, have my first match with Kyle Fletcher on the first
Mm.
day, and then on the second day, as I step in the ring, the UK fans, then I think like they're like amazing fans. They're like badass fans. I love it because as I step in the ring, they have already like chants for me. So that was like, you know, like those soccer chants. I was like, this is just
Yeah.
unreal. You know, I feel the energy and I feel everything. I was super happy that day. So that's why I'm too excited, you know, like to go.
I mean, that would be good. And we mentioned, obviously, you said about
No,
a European.
because I know the quality of the fans there.
Yeah. Bring Xena along as well. Yeah, you'll have to bring Xena as well.
I think that would be perfect. You have two per. Yeah, you have promo have 2 per 1.
Literally. Because I reckon if the
But
UK fans saw
no,
Xena and you together, it'd be really good.
I feel it's going to happen. It's going to happen eventually, you know.
Yeah.
Either way, if he's not right now, I'm really planning. I'm really like planning and hoping to go this year to Europe, you know, because that's also something that I have on my list. Uh,
Yeah.
to wrestle in Europe again.
Yeah, because there's so many big companies. Like you mentioned, you've got somewhere in Spain, you've got RCW in Spain, you've got WXW in Germany, you've got Rev Pro Progress, ICW in Scotland. You've got so many wrestling promotions that would love to and probably would snatch you and even Xena up.
Yeah, I
And
think that would be. We have that conversation actually. I brought it up like once, just I told her like, what if we like a ranch or like put together like a tour in Europe, and she was like so down for it. So I'm telling you, it needs to happen.
yeah, and I mean, you think of the amount of YouTube videos you can do. That'd be crazy,
Ah,
wouldn't it?
ah. Let me tell you the experience I had. Right?
Go on, tell me.
This is a funny one. I remember like when I went to the UK for progress, right? Like I was landing, and something that I like to do is every city where I go, like or every country where I go, I try to always try like food from the place. You know,
Yeah.
the best thing, like what is like especially like from there. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
remember I got my bags and whatever, and this guy is picking me up. So I get there and I said like, man, I'm so hungry. I don't remember how many hours were. I think it was like 12 hours or whatever. And I don't like to eat too much in the plane, so I was super hungry, and I was like, hey man, we got there, and I said like, can you take me to a restaurant where I can try like UK food, but whatever is like from here, like a signature, like perfect stuff from here. And he was like curry and Indian food, and I was like, what? And I said like, what are you talking about? So that's what this person said, because I asked what actually was really good, and it was like something that like was like very popular in the UK. He told me that. Then the next day, I have English breakfast for sure, but I ended
Can't
up
beat it.
eating nan. I ended up eating Nando's the four
Yeah.
days, and I was there.
Love a good Nando's.
Nando's is really good.
Yeah, Nando's is good. If you wanted to try British food, like the most thing would be fish and chips.
I
Like
have
that's
never
what
had that,
that's
to be honest.
well, next time you come, you need to have fish and chips with curry sauce,
All right,
and
but
then you need to do a YouTube video as well.
we will, we will. I
Definitely.
want us to both for like to both of us going to Europe, so we will for sure.
Yeah, spend like a month traveling, and then you can do traveling like sightseeing as well while you're here.
Yeah, I mean
Do
it
you
will be
like?
like Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Do you like? Oh, obviously you mentioned soccer. Do you like any UK team?
So I was like, when I was like a teenager, I was really hooked with Manchester for a
Which
while,
one?
but then United.
Oh,
But then I switched and I started to like Chelsea a lot.
oh, okay. Didn't expect that.
But it was like just those two, and then I started watching some because I wasn't watching like soccer back then. But then like I didn't watch soccer for a while. And where is Pac from? Because I remember I started to watch soccer when I was teaming with
What is
Pac in
Pack?
Dragon Gate.
Pack's from Newcastle.
Yeah, because he has the jersey, then it's like black and white.
Mm. He's from Newcastle.
Stripe, right?
You said
Yeah.
all the
So I
teams that
started
you said. Sorry.
go. So I started just watching like for a little bit like that, you know.
Yeah, you said all the teams that are like rivals to my team.
Which one is your team?
Liverpool.
I was ne- I was never a fan of it. You know, I used to watch when I was like a teenager. I used to watch the Champions League. And when
Yeah,
I was talking to you about Manchester, it was when Rooney was there, Gerard, who else was there? Number
Lampard.
8. Yeah, Lampard was there. I think
You've
Cristiano
got
was still there for a little bit.
yeah.
Cristiano was there. Ferdinand was there in the defense. So I'm talking to you about like that like days, you know.
I was 9.
Of course you were 9.
Yeah, going back many years. So you mentioned
But
obviously
yeah.
about your food. Obviously, when you try, Xena mentioned that she's a big food lover, and when you're talking to her, she's just eating.
Oh yeah.
She
It's
loves her
usually
food,
like
she
that.
said. And then she says, like, when you're trying to talk to her, she's like, nom, nom, nom. Do you know, always eating?
It's usually like that because um, she just enjoy food. I like to have a big time, you know. I like to talk, especially when you don't know when like you don't know people that well yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
very true.
you have
What
to
is,
like have something.
that's very true. What is 5 things Xena cannot live without?
Mm, coffee, coffee, food, hat,
Yeah.
TNs. You know TNs?
Yeah. Yeah. No.
It's it's Nike shoes, but they're called
Oh,
like
okay.
TNs.
Okay.
And Pepsi Max.
Pepsi Man.
I'm telling you, she's pretty simple.
But you didn't say yourself. Why is
Huh?
that? You didn't say you. Why can't she live without you?
I I I think that's something she needs to tell you.
So if I was to ask Xena the same question, what can't Daga live without? What would she say?
I don't know because I'm pretty simple. You know, like
Your
I'm not
hat.
like very like no, because most of the time it depends. Because I use bandanas and everything. I don't know though. Like I'm not like really like a material person. I don't
Yeah.
even I'm not even like picking my stuff and things like that when I dress. You know.
Yeah.
I'll have an idea and I'll pick a pair of jeans and a shirt and a hat and sometimes don't even match. You know, can be gray with baby blue and I don't know army green or or
Yeah.
something like that. So I don't care about it, but I don't know.
Yeah. So the last few questions, and then we'll wrap it up. We Who is your Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling?
That's pretty easy. But Rushmore is like just 4, but I have 5
Okay, I'll let you off.
because because there's the Dynamic Kid,
Okay.
Misawa,
Yes.
this luchador I mentioned before, Negro Casas,
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero, which he's half Mexican, half American,
Yeah,
or
I
like
like that.
Mexican American, and Chris Benoit. I think like he just away from everything. Then like was at the end. I think he was one of the most talented wrestlers that there have ever been in this like business.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that one. Do you know what? Your five, I would say, unbelievable. Especially with Eddie Guerrero, Basawa, Benoit, and Dynamite Kid. I was very fortunate to have the Dynamite Kid's daughter, Bronwyn Billington, on recently, and that was amazing.
Nice. Yeah, I'm always I was always a fan from Dynamite since he was like I watched matches of him when he was in Stampede with the
Tiger,
Hearts.
he, he's also had
Like
very
like
notable
he
matches
was
with Tiger Masks as well, hasn't
when he was super young against Bret Hart and all the Hearts. When he was with Tiger Mask, when he went to WWF, when he came back to Japan, like not in the best physical condition, but I followed that man. I think he was great.
he? Yeah, and like I said, the people that you mentioned is unbelievable, and I couldn't pick more better ones myself. You know, like you've got different styles. You've got the Lucha Libre in there. You've got Eddie Guerrero, whose character was just all around amazing and just really unbelievable. Chris Benoit, like you said, apart from the tragic what happened, Chris Jericho says he's an unbelievable wrestler, and probably even Paul Heyman said he was one of the top five best in the world back in back in the day.
I think
So yeah,
so. It was just perfect. Once like his work ethic was like what caught me the most when I wrote a book that it says when he was in Japan, uh, he has like a little incident in the ring, and something was like off, and
mm,
everyone at backstage was like looking for him. I don't know if you know that story. Everyone at the backstage
no,
was looking for him, and he was locked up in a restroom. He was locked up in a restroom doing 500 squats because something was off in his match.
wow, did not
That
know that.
was like what Chris Benoit used to do when something went off in his matches. He used to put himself, lock the door, and start to doing 500 squats just because something wasn't as he was as he expected to be.
That's crazy.
I know.
So, what is the plans for Daga for the rest of 2024? Maybe going into 2025. What can we expect?
uh, as I mentioned, I'm pretty happy in Japan though. I think this was my biggest dream. I never dream about WWE. I never dream about AW wasn't even a thing. I'll mention I never dream about WCW, TNA, or Ring of Honor. I watch them. I enjoy them. But my main goal was always since I started. I don't even want it to go like. I mean, I enjoy it to be. Just let me fix that. AAA or CMLL wasn't even my dream. My dream was to make a career in Japan, and now I have the opportunity to do it. And I'm in Noah, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm enjoying the time here. I enjoy the country, the food. Cena and I we met here, and now we're together. So I enjoy that. I feel like here is my place right now, and I'm always thinking like that. I'm not like
Yeah,
as I said, I'm not like into material stuff. So I don't care about like going to WWE and make the big money and those things. I care about being happy and do what I love to do. This being in a ring. So here I have the opportunity to do it. I'm living my dream. I'm wrestling for one of the companies, and I was to wrestle. Then I want to wrestle since I started. Since I started, so right now I want to break the record, and I want to jump to the heavyweights, and I want to like. This is a crazy goal I have, but I already hold like the two titles in the junior division. So that means is there like three more titles in Noah to hold.
that's true.
So
Very true.
I want to be the first. I don't know. probably not the first, but I think probably will be the first foreigner to hold
Yeah.
the like every single belt in the company.
Yeah, and that would be outstanding.
Yeah, so right now I'm focused on Noah. I don't like to do like big plans or like going so far in the future because I'm not being dramatic, but like we don't know where we're gonna be next month, you know.
Do you know what? You're very true. Anything can happen.
So right now I'm happy where I am.
Yeah. So I always ask everyone this: an inspirational message to end. What's yours?
Inspirational. That's I don't know. I really don't know. I'm really like I'm really like a person that likes to be like I like discipline, and I
Hmm.
think like one of the sentences that like I heard from one of my teachers was hard work beats everything. Hard work beats like talent and everything. So I think that's something that it's always being in my head, you know, because that's why I always try to be, or I used to try to be the first at the gym, the last one leaving, and all those things, and put everything I have in every single thing that I do.
Yeah,
So I think it will be that.
it's very true. And like you mentioned, hard work tops anything. So where can people find you on your socials?
Uh, well, I have I think Instagram. It's Daga the wrestler. Then we have X, which is how you call it? Daga lower. How you call that? Sorry, it's my English sometimes.
Okay.
Underscore wrestler. Daga underscore like wrestler. It's that one,
Yeah.
and I think pretty much it's Instagram and X because Threads is from Instagram and Facebook. I think like just like Latin America is really big on it. So I have a fan page over there, but it's just Daga Luchador Oficial because it's like
Yeah.
uh, it's just like aiming my people over there. You know, like the people from Latin America.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Daga, for coming on. I really do appreciate your time. Thank you.
Nothing human. I have a really good time.
Means a lot. Thank you, man. Take care.
All right. See you soon.
See you soon, man.